Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle at the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
Boom! What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, do that. Do that, please. All right, do it. Watching, please do that. Here's what we need. All right, just go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Watch this on our YouTube channel. Excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, it's been long enough. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. Okay. But also click the notification button. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. That's the little bell that's right there next to it, next to the subscribe button. That's the notification button. Just do that. All right. Do us that favor. Listen, we're working on a lot of great things over here at Sports Zone Chicago, and we need your help with your subscriptions on YouTube. So make sure you sorry. Oh, here it is. All right. There you go. That's what we need. Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. We need your subscriptions. We got to get our subscriptions to a certain level. All right, so we can maneuver a little more freely and do some other really, really cool stuff. Yeah, the big thing is we want to do a lot of cool things for you guys. All right, we want to make this program better. We want to make it as great as we can possibly make it. So we need your help. All right, so we're asking for your help. So even if you got to create another email address or whatever, who cares? Just create another email address and go subscribe. It happens. You know what? This is Chicago, okay? This is the city where we vote early, vote often, okay? So that's how we do it. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to get us to a certain level and beyond, and then, man, you're going to start seeing all the cool stuff that we are able to do because we reached a certain level, okay? So make sure we do that. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, yay, and listen, please don't tell me you didn't know. If you didn't know we have a mobile app, what is wrong with you? We have our own mobile app. Okay, so wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter. Okay, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth. Oh, I don't know what the heck happened. Woolworth, Weebolts. Somebody said Weebolts yesterday. That was awesome. All right, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, Not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Man, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We have our own Roku channel. Okay, so if you have a Roku television in the house, do us this favor. I go there, download Sports Zone Chicago's channel, put it right there next to Netflix, Hulu, Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. All right, put it right next to those. Okay, put a smack dab in the middle of that, and you can watch this on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen right Mickey Ficky now. That's what I'm talking about. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, the CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Now you shin easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akais, MAYA_AKAI. Excuse me. We got a great show for you, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, listen, leave a question or comment on that particular platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, that is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. All right. That's you. All right. So here's what we need you to do. Bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat. The chat is jumping like a mother hubbard today, like some Mexican jumping beans today. And let's see. Lovette Lee in the house. Good morning, mommy. Thank you for tuning in. It's hump day. My man Cornelius Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up? Brian Be Smooth is in the house. Good morning, Brian. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And my man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior's in the house. Good morning, buddy. How are you? I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, snap. DC's up in this mother hubbard. Hell yeah. We got a little DC in the house. Patty Lara's in the house. Good morning, everybody. That's what I'm talking about. AC Adam. That's what I'm talking. Man, we got the usual suspects and then some. That's what I'm talking. Black Diamond's in the house. Yo, what's up, Baba? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it muchísimo. King Booker World in the house. What up, baby? Baby. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to have a nice show, and this show's going to be lit as usual. Probably because you guys. Look at the chat is blowing up like mad already. I love it. I like it a lot. 10 o'clock. Our guy, Evan Winter from A to Z Sports is going to join us. We're going to talk Bears. Okay. There seems to be a change in the winds and the rumors. And not just in the rumors. Again, that's not one thing I really want to do. I want to make sure that we're not just meathead fans. Okay. It's one thing I want to make sure we're not meathead fans. Okay. There's far too many of them out there. And I don't want my followers to be those types of fans. Let's look at the writing on the wall. Let's look and see what's going on and make decisions and assumptions off of those things that people just don't want to see. Okay. But I digress. We got some Bulls to talk. I'm excited about that. Got some spring training. Woo-wee. And for those of you who don't know, I am Bo Jackson number of days away from landing in Arizona. I am fired up. I can't even tell you how fired up I am about it. My tea is good. Hot. Let me tell you something. Here, let me get this down. Let me tell you something. These Yeti cups, They freaking work, man. They freaking work. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of my tea. I don't know if you can see it, but I had the lid on, and I made my tea at 7:30 this morning. I made my tea, covered it with the lid, put it here so I can do some other stuff because I got here late, not late, but I want to make sure that was ready so I can. And I forgot to uncover it at about 8:30. I was just running around making sure I had to make breakfast for the warden because she's going to CrossFit later. And dude, ladies and gentlemen, this again, I don't know if you can see the steam coming out of the cup. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like you can see it, but man, it is smoking. Almost 2 hours. That's what I heard about Yetis. When I heard years ago, like in 2015, 2016, I'd never heard of that brand before. And they were talking about Yeti cups. I was head of security over at the Under Armour store in Michigan and Ohio. And someone had mentioned a Yeti cup. I'm like, what's a Yeti cup? I don't understand. And they said, oh, it's one of the best cups, insulated cups. And it keeps your drink cold, keeps it for a long time, it keeps it warm or hot for a long time. I was like, really? And it was someone and then one of the ladies was talking, and she lives in Texas, and she said that she had left. They went to go watch her son play soccer. Her son was like 8, 10, whatever. And so she left a drink with ice in her car with the cap on. And so she went there and she said, she left it in the car for the game. She goes, she came back, the ice was still there. Ice was still in the drink. I was like, damn. So that was my first exposure to Yeti. And then a few years ago when we had the reunion for Holy Cross, you see they gave us a class of 93, blah, blah, blah. So they gave us Yeti cups. Well, damn. Tuition was enough back then. Well, got a scholarship, but still. It goes $25,000 a year to go to school back then. So got turned on. Anyway, I digress. My tea is hot, and I didn't think it was going to be this hot still. Anyway, I digress. We got a lot of sports to talk, man. Bulls. I mean, the Bulls don't play till Saturday, I want to say anyway. Is that right? All right, we got Hawks. Oh, the Bulls play tonight. The Hawks don't play again until Saturday. Yeah, the Hawks don't play again until Saturday. So we have a lot of sports to talk. We'll finish it up with some Bears talk at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Well, listen, baby, let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See, which way do we go? Which way do we go? The first top of the morning topic. Let's see. The Blackhawks, baby. Yay. That's what I'm talking about. I like this. I like it a lot. The Blackhawks are in Arizona. I'm telling you, this is awesome. The Blackhawks are in Arizona. They beat the Coyotes 5-2. Let me tell you. Oh, first of all, let me give you the goals. Seth Jones got his second and third goals of the season. Nick Foligno, his 15th. Dickinson lit the lamp for the 18th times, and Kurashev, the 11th. Bedard had 2 assists. Tyler Johnson had 3 assists. Korchinski has 8th assist of the year. Vlasic had his 11th helper of the season. I think I mentioned it the other day, is what we used to do. Well, when Camelback Ranch first opened, I want to say like 09 or 10, whenever they opened, because the Sox share that with the Dodgers. We started a string of 5 years in a row where we would go to Arizona. A buddy, his dad's buddy owned the adjacent townhome. So it was just 10 guys going out there, golfing. cigar smoking, dinner. Well, actually, we never went out to dinner. We went out one year for one of the guys' birthdays. One of the guys in the group in the clan was a chef, or not was a chef in the Navy. So he's like, stay away from the grill. It's mine. We're like, oh, hell yeah. I told you a story. I want to say, we sent out a couple $100, a couple weeks in advance to get all the food. My guy who lives out there went out. One guy, we sent him the money, get all the food. So we got there. The house was stacked. Like I said, golfing, gambling. They have the casino over there, spring training games. And what they did for 2 years or maybe 3 years is right around the St. Patrick's Day weekend, the Blackhawks were scheduled to play the Coyotes out there. So 2 years we went and got to see we went to Cubs. It was a Cubs Sox game. And 1 year was a Sloan. Was it Sloan or was it Camelback? I mean, Ho-Ho-Cam. I don't remember. But then the other one was Camelback. All right. So we got to see that. We got to see the Hawks. It was pretty dope. It was a good time. And it looks like the NHL was smart. They know that a lot of people from Chicago moved to Arizona. A lot of people will have people in Arizona. So to have the Blackhawks out there during spring training makes sense. All right. A lot of Chicago Sox and Cub fans, they got their people out there. So smart move by the NHL getting the Hawks out there again. Because I'll tell you, when I went, man, it was fun. Really awesome. Was there just as many, if not more, Blackhawks fans than there were Coyote fans, because the Coyotes weren't very good back then. So it was pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Well, next top of the morning topic, Cactus League action. The Cubs yesterday, they get blanked by the Kansas City Royals 4-0. And there's nothing to talk about except my man's wearing Jordans, is he? Yeah, no, those are just regular Nikes. Yeah. Cubs got blanked by the Royals. It's okay. It's spring training. Oh, man. And the next top of the morning topic, what is this? That's no one. I don't know why. There you go. So in Cactus League action today, the Cubs host the Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They're at Sloan Park today. First pitch is 2:05. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network here, or if anywhere in the country, or you can listen to it on 670 AM, their flagship station. Now, people are excited about today. Pardon me. People are excited about today because of this. The next top of the morning topic, Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger makes his spring training debut today, and he will be the DH. So all eyes on me are going to be on Cody Bellinger at Sloan Park. Remember, he just signed 3-year, was it $80 million deal, 30-30-20 is what it looks out, with opt-out after the first and second year. He completes that team. He is a perfect fit for that team. I think it's great. Like I said, you know how I feel about the Cubs and their fans, but man, that dude is special. And I liked watching him last year. And I'll watch more. All right, I'll watch more Cubs games, more Cubs highlights. This dude's a special player, man. He's a very, very special player. Man. Thank you, Brian. Gracias. So let's move on. The next top of the morning topic, the White Sox, the good guys from the South Side. Yeah, I'm still mad at them. They're a bunch of punks. The good guys, they host the Los Angeles Dodgers. Actually, they both share Camelback Ranch. Camelback Ranch today out in Glendale, Arizona. First pitch is 2:05 Central Time. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can listen to it on the flagship station, ESPN 1000. Yeah, you know what? The Dodgers and the White Sox, that's a mutual. So I'm sure it's pretty cool. I'm sure they each have their own locker room. It's like the Sox be in one, the Cubs or the Dodgers be in the other, and then when the Dodgers are playing someone else, they'll take the Sox locker room. When the Sox are playing someone else, they'll take the Dodgers locker room. It's a really cool spot. I can't wait to get out there next week. It's a really cool spot. It's supposed to be in the 80s. Well, that's the week away, so we'll see. But it's going to be, the weather will be a lot warmer than it is here. And I'm not saying that the weather is bad here. I'm not saying that at all. It's just going to be a lot warmer in Arizona. See, Phoenix. I won't be too bad. So next Thursday, it's going to be 75. Next Friday, 75. Okay. Not too hot. Nothing too crazy. All right. I'll take it. I'll take it. And just to be away, like I said, the reason to get away, one, get some spring training coverage in, but for the most part, to recharge my batteries. All right. Self-help. All right. Self-maintenance is good for the body and the soul and the mind, especially the mind. But the body's a close second. Make sure you take care of yourself, especially if you're in charge of people, moms, dads. All right. Don't let your body go to hell. Don't let your mental health go to hell. All right. Don't let your physical fitness go to hell because you're taking care of other people, because your body will break down. The one thing about your body is that, it'll take a break. And when it does, it'll take it when it wants it, not when you want it. And that could be at the most inconvenient time. All right. And it could be something serious, or it could be something just a breakdown. So make sure we take care of ourselves. It's okay to have self-love. All right. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The next top of the morning topic, man, well, we knew it was going to happen. Jalen Johnson. The Bears franchise tag their star cornerback, their all-pro cornerback, Jalen Johnson. He's tagged for $19.8 million for the 2024 season. However, they're trying to get a long-term deal done. Okay? And RyanPoles said it at the scouting combine. He said Jalen isn't going anywhere. He knew that he always had the tag in his back pocket. That was a trump card. Psh. All right? That was a joker, a big joker. All right? For those of you who play spades, you know what I'm talking about. All right? That was a big joker. You ain't going nowhere. But what it does do, which I really like, it allows them to buy time. Okay, they couldn't get the deal done. They had to use the franchise tag by yesterday. Okay? If he wasn't franchised, he'd be a free agent. Well, they're not going to let him do that. But the Bears have now until July 15th to work out a deal. And I'm very confident. I feel very confident that they will. Okay? Jalen Johnson's only turning 25 next month. So 4-year deal, 5-year deal, he'll be 30. Oh, 25 to 6 or 7 to 8 to 9. Yeah, he'll be turning 30 at the end of his contract, right before the next season. I trust Poles to get this done. I expect Poles to get this done. But whatever it is, he's still here for $19.8 million this year. He's here this year. You can say what you want. He's here for this year. Our secondary will be, no, it's not going to be intact. Eddie Jackson's gone. So 3/4 or 4/5 of our secondary is intact. So now are they going to attack it in free safety in free agency and or the draft? I say both. I say both. I say he goes. There's a couple of free agents, a couple of people who got released, or we're not tagged, so they are free agents. It's a couple of safeties. I mean, so we can get a bridge guy for a couple of years. Or if he's good, great. That's even better if he's good. And you draft a safety in the 3rd or 4th round, and you can have him develop for a year or two. And this is the NFL, man. People get hurt all the time. People get hurt all the time. So he'll probably be a special teams player, play that way. Then if someone gets banged up, or you can even rotate him in a series here, a series there every game, or 2 series every game, whatever. But get him some playing time and don't put the weight of being the starting free safety on a rookie's shoulders. Right? Now you can let him develop. That's a crazy idea. I know that's foreign to Chicago Bears fans because very rarely do we let people develop. And then when they don't develop properly, we get mad and we want them traded. It's just, unfortunately, that's just the way this fan base is. I can't speak for any other fan base because I'm not a fan of other fan bases, nor do I know their roster and how they maneuver and operate. I can't speak for them. Cannot. Well, the next top of the morning topic, the Bears. This is kind of interesting. The Bears hire Karen Murphy. Okay. Karen Murphy, she's Executive Vice President of Stadium Development and the COO. She's been with the team for 20-some years. And it's interesting because there's so much that I guess has changed. I don't know if she's, and I don't want to say that Kevin Warren's doing a bad job because I don't know. So I'm not going to speak on that. She's worked for the Bears for 25 years, and she's supposed to collaborate. And this is according to Patrick Finley of the Chicago Sun-Times. She worked with the Bears for 25 years and will collaborate with Kevin Warren on the team's stadium plans. She previously had worked on renovations to Soldier Field and Hallis Hall. So, I don't know if they're not happy with. I don't know. I don't know if sometimes might be maybe a different voice, a fresh voice. I don't know. I don't know why. I know, or my understanding was. I don't know. My understanding was that they were going to make this hire anyway. So instead of bringing an outsider in, they promoted from within. They promoted from within. She was here. She she participated in the renovation of the Soldier Field and Hallis Hall. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense that she's the hire. The hire makes sense. So, but listen, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we'll come back with more sports talk. So, do me a favor. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel, you can find us at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the number one rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
We just lean on them for their opinions.
Real quick, you guys traded up for a quarterback in San Francisco a couple of years ago with Trey Lance. You're at the number 2 pick. Is there a scenario where you guys would be willing to trade up to the number 1 spot and try to get in that number 1 seat?
I think we do anything to make our team better. So you trade up, trade down. Had a lot of really good conversations with a lot of GMs this week, really productive. So we're going to look through every avenue to make our team better.
Okay. Adam Peters, new Washington Commanders general manager. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was Adam Peters, Washington Commanders general manager. I love how everyone was so coy. And when not saying anything, they can't say anything. Get it. I get it. Where goes one? What's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's, you know, it's lying season. Can't believe what people say. Can't believe what people do. Keith Harris in the house. Good morning, Papa. How you doing? Black Rain's back in the house. What's up, baby? Bear down. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, interesting comments from Adam Peters. You know, one of the things that oh, and you know what? Almost forgot. How can I forget this? Yesterday was a very special day. Yesterday was the 25th birthday of starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Think about, what were you doing on your 25th birthday? I was flying home to Chicago. I was coming back home. I had lived in New York for 2 years, so 23 and 24. On my 25th birthday, I flew back home. I was working on Wall Street, and the market slowed down, and you know, I got let go. I was the last guy in, first guy out, and did a couple of things to hang around, but you know, it was tough. So I had to come back home at that particular point. So on my 25th birthday is when I came home. Yeah. DC. I was mourning Tupac. Yeah. Oh, snap. I didn't see you, Michelle Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Papa. How dare I forget to mention you? What my problem is. Michelle, good morning, baby. I'm sorry, big dog. I'm sorry. My bad. You're one of the OGs. Shawn and Maya in the morning in Sports Zone Chicago. One of the OGs. That's for sure. But yeah, yesterday was Justin Fields' 25th birthday, and you know what? The way this guy is hung around, it's amazing. You know what? He's handled everything with grace. Oh, cool. You know, you never hear true strength in that young man. There's a lot of times, especially this younger generation, where you could pop off, you go to social media, you could go to, you can get the word out of how unhappy you are, and he never did. Never went that route. Hold on. Sorry, I hit the button. Yeah, never went that route. All he did was work, put his head down and work. So we'll see if he's rewarded. We'll see if they're talking about taking care of Justin. Spring training, Cub fans, you have to be excited. You are excited. Your man's in them. Cody Bellinger, 3 years, $80 million. 30, 30, 20 with opt-outs after each year. I say he should be here at least 2 years. At least 2 years. All right, 30 mil is a nice piece of change, baby. That's a nice piece of change. And have that his first 2 years. I know he has opt-outs after the first year and the second year. But, man, you're going to go back on the market and try and get more? You could. You've earned that right by your play. But it might be a smart thing to say, hey, let me stay and get 30 and 30. Let me get 60 mil. I mean, worst case scenario, you stay all 3 years and you get 80 million. Oh my God, how are you going to live? But I get it. You figure you're one of the best players in baseball. You want a contract that coincides with that. Or you're just a guy, hey, you're set. With 80 mil? Come on, Papa. Uncle Sam takes half, so he's got 40. Union dues, agent fee. Say he's got 32 million. 37 mil. 32, 35 mil. He seems like you're done. You're done. You're set for life. You, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Buy a couple of properties, multi-unit properties, buy some properties in resort towns like in Miami and Puerto Rico, in LA and Arizona. Airbnb them out, or college towns. That's the move. College towns. Dude, you could do that. And just sit back and relax. If you got kids, Mr. Mom. And Mr. Mom. That'd be dope. But on the field, up until that particular point, you guys got a nice little squad. You guys are in a situation where you are trending upward. Unfortunately, my White Sox are not. And that's frustrating to me, big time, because I got to hear your mouths. Again. I like what they're doing over there. Okay, maybe get another pitcher. But you got a lot of young guys. You have a lot of veterans there. And you have guys who have won. When you have a locker room full of people who've won, who are World Series champions, it changes everything. The feel in that locker room. They expect more. They demand more. And trust me, don't think Dansby Swanson or Cody Bellinger doesn't understand that their role as leaders. They understand it. So they need to know, they need to set an example for these young guys. There's a lot of young, talented players. And what young, talented players want to do, they want to be around winners. They want to emulate these winners. They're fortunate, glad to be in a clubhouse with World Series champions, with former MVPs, with former rookies of the year. Why? Because you get to see somebody who has reached the pinnacle of what you want. And that's a World Series title, an individual goal, an MVP. You have somebody in that clubhouse that you can emulate. How does this guy go about his business on a daily basis? Because if his MO for being Rookie of the Year, MVP, part of a World Series team, is this. I may want to emulate it. Let me talk to this guy. Let me pick his brain. Let me see what he's thinking. To have someone like that for these youngsters it's priceless. Priceless. Little nuggets you can get from veteran players who are stars. Cody Bellinger was a star before he got injured. He was a superstar before he got injured. Let me take that back. He was a superstar. I think he's a star now, and I think with another season similar to last year, he will be officially a superstar again. But what you're doing is you're creating a culture, and people don't understand it. You hear it. You hear the term, but unless you've been in a clubhouse, unless you've been in a locker room, everybody, and you could have felt something at your job, depending on where you work. But you feel the atmosphere, the culture of what your boss, your manager, what they said, how they set the tone for your office or the clubhouse or the locker room. You feel it. And when you get top quality guys, why do you think the Bears are so worried about getting great young men, not just great football players? They want men with good character. These are guys that the Cubs brought around. These are guys with good character. And they're looking to get back to the NLCS and go from there. I don't know if they have a legitimate shot this year, but I think they have a legitimate shot at the playoffs. I think they're a playoff team. I think in next year you'll really have depending on the moves you make, what moves you make in the offseason, or at the trade deadline, what moves you make in the offseason next year, how well these youngsters develop, how big a step some of these guys take. Christopher Morel, where are you going to put him? Get him at one spot, leave him there, get his bat in the lineup every day. PCA. All right, get him as much time as possible because you can move Cody Bellinger to first. You can move Cody Bellinger to DH, which he's doing today. You have that ability. You have that ability to get PCA some time in center field. Well, not taking the bat of Cody Bellinger out of the lineup. You're not fortunate. You set it up perfectly. Where goes one? Have you watched the last two videos from Adam Mason? They are a must. No, I did not. I did not see those. Give me, if you would, give me a synopsis. Just a synopsis in there, what they're about, and for Caleb, for Justin. We all have our theories or our desires for this thing. It's a ting. But the pitching staff is the one that's something I question. Are they going to be able to sustain this? Are they going to be able to shut people down? What about the relievers, the closer? Cubs are in a good spot. All right, no one's expecting them to win the World Series. They're not expecting to win the World Series. What they're expecting to do is gain some chemistry. What they're expecting to do is use 2024 as a springboard to 2025. Springboard to 2025. Because then what's going to happen is you're going to see all these youngsters. How big of a step did they take? Okay, do we need to go get someone? If you put Christopher Morel at third, do you need to go get a third baseman? Oh, he can play third base. Guess what? We don't need a third baseman. We'll leave him there. His stick, he's got some pop in his stick. Okay, cool, good. That's one area we don't need. Get to us? Sorry. My mistake. Freudian slip. Black Diamond. They're pitching. Trust me, I'm not going to be a Cub fan. I'm mad at my White Sox, but I'm not going to be a scrub fan. No. Freudian slip. Slip of the tongue. That's all. Oh, Adam Mason is for Justin. Okay. I gotta bust me out like that, Black Diamond. No, you know what? I love it. I love it. No, you know what? It's so funny. There is a picture. I'll try and find. I think it's on Facebook. I'll try and find it, and I'll bring it. And it was when they were still trying to make me a Cub fan. See, all my uncles, they've all passed, but they were all Cub fans. All of them. My Uncle Johnny, huge Cub fan. My Uncle Dario, my Uncle Frankie, huge Cub fans. My Uncle Paulie, I didn't know Uncle Paulie. I was only like 3 or 4 when he passed away. They're all huge Cub fans, and my mom, she looked up to her big brothers. And so there's a picture of me in a Cubs shirt. I was a kid. I got a fro. I'll get it. You guys are going to laugh. And they try to brainwash me. They tried to brainwash me, and it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. So, I'm telling you, most of my family are Cub fans. And I mean, again, they're on WGN, especially once the White Sox went to Sports Channel. Remember? It was on TV and Sports Channel back in the day. Yeah, I think, Sports Channel. So a lot of people didn't have cable. That was cable back then. So like that, my son and I love sending Shawn Cubs news. I know. They'll text me this, text me that. I'm like, why are you sending me this? Once I see his Cubs, I read it. I look like, oh, okay, they're still stupid. But no, all jokes aside, yeah, the Cubs are in a good spot. The Cubs are in a real good spot, and you know what? They should be really, Cub fans should be really excited, which many of you are, because you're on the precipice of what could be a very exciting season. A very exciting season. You could. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, this is crazy. I'm looking back at some, because I was trying to get this pick and then bring it up like after the break. I think that's what I'll do. But there's a picture of me. Wow. So I haven't worn a Cubs shirt in a long time. All right. I haven't worn a Cubs shirt in a long, long time. I had to wear a Packers shirt because I lost a bet. They were on channels 44 for a while before they went to Sports Channel. Yeah, they were on channel 44. Funny you mentioned. You remember that? That's true. Yeah, but you're old, Junior. Hell of a lot older than me. So, yeah, I won't find it. But hey, you know what? Enjoy it. Enjoy it, Cub fans. I really like the way you guys have done that. Unfortunately, my White Sox were not. They're feeding us the same old crap again. But I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to the season. I broke down. I am going to opening day. Never. First of all, I'm a middle light guy, for starters. Second of all, cuck the fubs. Cuck the fubs. I'm drinking Miller Lite. And isn't this funny? Budweiser's the drink of choice for you scrub fans, and they're out of St. Louis. How ironic. But I digress. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, 8 days away, and I'll be heading to Arizona next Thursday. Out of here at noon. I get there. It's 10 o'clock over there. So I should get there around 1 o'clock-ish. All right. Catch a game. I don't know if we're going to catch a game at Thursday or maybe Friday or Saturday. So I'll do my show from there, from my buddy's house on Friday morning. So that will not stop. This will not stop. So make sure you stay here. And I'll be doing a whole bunch of lives from out there. I'll be doing some lives from out there. So it should be a good time. Milwaukee. Where's Miller beer from? Isn't that from Milwaukee? Miller Park. Brewers. Brewers used to be, they weren't even, they were in the AL East. We were in the AL West before they broke up. They changed them. So I never really had an issue with the Brewers. So, but anyway, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my guy, Evan Winter from A to Z Sports. We're going to talk a little Bears, and then we'll wrap it up with a little Bulls to close out the show. All right, so here's what I need you to do. Here's what I need you to do. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends, tell your sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles. Tell them to follow Sports Zone Chicago. Get on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Okay? It's free. And we're trying to do some cool stuff. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get it done this weekend. And I want to get this thing done before I leave for Arizona. There's I want to get this project done. I've been back and forth with these guys, and hopefully we can get it done. I may have to spend a little money, extra money, but that's okay. That's okay. I'd love to come on Monday and say, hey, guess what, guys? Boom. Go get it. Go get it. But I'm super excited about what we have for Sports Zone Chicago. It's going to be dope. You can rep us. Sports Zone Chicago, we're doing big things. And I'm really excited about it. I'm happy about it. And it's been a while. It's been a long, arduous journey, but we're getting closer to where it is we want. We need your help. We need your help with subscriptions to our YouTube channel. So please do us that favor. Like I said, create another email and then subscribe to it that way. All right. Everything helps. All right. We were doing a lot of stuff yesterday. Learn how to maximize YouTube. So please do us that favor. All right. But again, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. And my guy, Evan Winter from A to Z Sports will be joining us. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. And we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
There's Patrick Mahomes at the moon, and then there's the second tier of guys. Justin Fields isn't far off that second tier. He only played with one viable guy in DJ Moore that says that dude can play. DJ Moore coming out their own locker room and saying he can play. Now, RyanPoles can be smart and trade the number 1 overall pick because you're not going to get the same value for Justin Fields as you are the number 1 overall pick. If I move off the number 1 pick, I can get just you name it. What do you want? I can get 3 1s, I can get future ones, I can get some 2s.
Probably.
I can get all, I can get my 2 back for Sweat.
Are you keeping Justin Fields?
Yeah, I'm keeping Justin Fields. But if I move Justin Fields, I'm going to get a 2 and a 4, a 5. That ain't that.
No, you're not going to get a lot.
No. But he can play. You have to take a step back and realize we don't have anything around him. He's going to be with 3-4 different coordinators, a couple of head coaches. Like, you cannot do a disservice to a young man that has the ability of a Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. You saw that video courtesy of Fox. That was Keyshawn Johnson on Undisputed with, I don't even like that dude, with Skip. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. That's all I've been saying. And people who, for whatever reason, they love change. They're in a situation. It's funny. I've talked to so many people and so many Caleb cultists, and Caleb's it. Caleb. I'm like, okay, listen, I have nothing against the guy. It's not personal. I hope he becomes a great player. I really do. And I said, they'll sit there and say, and it's Justin sucks, Justin this, Justin that, Justin this. But then in the same breath, they'll like, yeah, but they didn't really develop him. So you're telling me you understand why he's bad. He could be good. He could be really good with coaching and assets around him, but he still sucks. I was like, people are silly. Anyway, my next guest, my first guest today, is a good friend of the program. I'm excited to have him. Love talking football with this guy. He's running things, or damn near running things over there at A to Z Sports. You can find him on Twitter at Evan_ATOZ, A to Z. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Evan Winter. Evan, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
What's up, Shawn? Happy to be here, man. I hope things are going well on your end.
They are, man. Things are going well. I have Bo Jackson number of days till I head to Arizona. I'll be in Arizona next week. So I just put up Bo Jackson. So I got 8 days before I do that. Check out a couple spring training games, Cubs game, Sox game, and literally just recharge my batteries, bro. Just recharge my batteries. My boy's got a pool out there at his house. Got a nice little house out in Chandler. So yeah, I'll get away. Things are good over here. Yeah, things are good. Things are good.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's always good to have that time off to recharge, especially in this line of work where it's just it never ends, man. It really never ends.
Ain't that the truth? Whew. So yeah, we got a situation here. All right, a little situation, and we'll get to Justin Fields' situation in a second. But we tagged Jalen Johnson. Are you surprised? Are you happy? Are you upset? Are you like, Your thoughts on the Bears tagging Jalen Johnson yesterday for $19.8 million?
Yeah, saw it coming from a mile away. RyanPoles said towards the end of January, sometime in January, Jalen's not going anywhere. Those were his exact words. And
Yep.
then, he said at the combine, they felt like they gave him a strong offer. Both sides felt like things were going in the right direction. So yeah, why risk any kind of friction? Why risk competing against competition that you don't have to compete against by placing the franchise tag on Jalen Johnson? And our cap analysts over here at A to Z Sports, they've got him at a 4-year, $90 million contract projection. That's what they're saying he's going to make. Yeah, he's going to get paid. So the franchise tag is actually, it's a little over 19 million, like you said. It's actually a little bit of a drop in pay in terms of what he'd make on an annual, yearly salary. And then plus also we know how signing bonuses and stuff works. There's a really good chance, he'd make even more than 22 million in the first year.
Oh yeah.
Just how it would look on the cap, it would be a lot lower. So yeah, I think the only reason, RyanPoles is a very smart GM. He treats his players well. He's not doing this to lessen Jalen's income. He's not doing it to get a hit. He's doing it to make sure that they can keep contract negotiations between themselves and that they can keep one of their best players who's an absolute necessity on this defense.
There's an old saying, you got to stop giving away good players. You just have to. And this is one of the best ones. But what he's doing, he's setting the tone for the rest of the room or rest of the locker room. When you see a guy who extends, he's not one of his players. All right. He's not one of his players. He didn't draft Jalen Johnson. But when you see him extend him because of good play, that sends shockwaves through the locker room. This guy will pay you if you play well. What did Deion say? You play well, they pay well. And he showed that he's not going to move off you, okay, when it's time to pay you. And I think that sets the culture. People, we've talked about culture earlier. People don't get it, although they should, because I'm sure everybody's worked in an office and you've had a boss, and so. But nonetheless, you get guys and people say, "Man, look what he did! Look what he did for him! Look what he did for him!" And there's a morale in that locker room, that clubhouse. Like, man, not only is this head coach down 10 toes for us, but this GM is as well, and that is why people are going to want to come here and play for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and you love to see a dude get paid whenever he deserves to get paid. So it's all about just timing at this point. Same thing with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay tagged Antoine Winfield Jr. He's going to get a $20 million per year plus contract. And it was only just to keep them from competing because, like you said, you don't want to give these guys away. So why would you even create an avenue to where another team could come in and force you to overpay, and therefore you have to give this guy away because you don't want to overpay? It's smart. It's keeping it, close to the chest. It just in a different kind of context. And at the end of the day, I fully expect Jalen Johnson. I would honestly be surprised if the extension isn't done by the time free agency starts next week. But if it's not done by then, I would fully expect it to be done by the time the draft rolls around.
Interesting. I hope so. Ryan said, "Hey, we extended an offer. All right, it's good on term. It's good on bonuses. It's good on, we sent him a strong offer. So there might be one thing here or there, that they might need to iron out. So hopefully it is. That would be really, really dope if they're able to do that and get it signed. Because again, you want everything positive going into the season. All right. So switching to something that's not positive. The slander, my man, the birthday boy yesterday. Talk to me about it. The Bears traded for, Ryan Master Bates himself. Sorry. I couldn't. And people are upset about this. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. RyanPoles wanted him 2 years ago.
Yep.
He signed him to an offer sheet and Buffalo matched it.
Yep.
So he's literally he's going to be paying what he was willing to pay him back then. And he's kind of like a Cody Whitehair, where he can play actually all 5 positions. I think right tackle is his weakest position, but he can play center. He plays both guards. Your thoughts on that and giving up the 5th round draft pick? And does that tell you anything about what RyanPoles is going to do with the number 1 pick?
Yeah, I don't think it relates to the number 1 pick all that much. But it definitely is. We talked about this, last time I came on with you and Maya, was talking about how they're definitely going to be restocking the interior of the offensive line and making some changes. Obviously, Cody Whitehair was released since then. And yeah, that's where they need to upgrade. Obviously, you got Nate Davis and Tevin Jenkins. Those are your presumed starters at guard, but you still need depth. I mean, and plus the NFL has the rule where if you have at least 8 offensive linemen on the roster, then you get the 2 extra roster spots on game day. You get to bump your roster up to 55 players. So teams are just, and you typically don't carry more than 3 tackles on a roster. Your 2 starters in a swing. So teams are inclined to stock up on the interior offensive line, which is what you need to do. And yeah, a guy like Bates who can play both positions, he's essentially probably what they wanted Lucas Patrick to be, who they had to settle for 2 years ago, after they couldn't get Ryan Bates. So it is interesting, though. I haven't done a ton of digging on what happened with him last year because in 2022, he started 15 games. And then last year, he appeared in all 17, but he didn't start any. So something happened. I don't know if it was an injury or if his play kind of dropped off. But either way, Poles is showing that he has just as much confidence in him now as he did 2 years ago. So that right there should signify something. That should make you feel good. And if it doesn't work, well, hell, we know exactly where to point the finger at the end of the day. So I like the move overall. I don't think giving up now, granted, Bears don't have a 2nd and 3rd round pick, but we're talking about a 5th rounder here. If he could possibly turn into a starter at center, I don't think that's going to happen. But either way, providing decent depth along the way, that's in $4 million cap hit with a $3.4 million base salary. That's a good deal all day.
Peanuts.
In my book. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's peanuts. And I think he might be the starting center. I think he can do it, but I also think you draft a center. I think you draft a center, and I think the fact of the matter is that you get to work that center in. That's crazy. You let a guy develop. I know we don't know what that means here in Chicago, but we let a guy develop. And the fact of the matter is he's going to start at one particular point because we've seen Tevin Jenkins not finish the whole season his entire career. Nate Davis has been injured as well. So if that happens, well, guess what? Now Bates can go to the guard spot. You move the youngster in, and guess what? Youngster's doesn't have to be responsible for making the calls because he's got a guy right next to him who's made the calls. So it just actually fits perfectly into that thing. And this is the thing that people don't understand. I had a buddy of mine from high school he was drunk. He was drinking too. So he was like, what the hell? He was mad and complaining about the move. I'm like, bro, it makes a lot of sense. I was like, go have another one, bro. Have one for me, as a matter of fact. But I think what Poles has done, the way he layers things, I love his thought process. Okay. And this is why, and when I asked you about the number 1 pick, I'm like, well, it shows me that it seems like they're really going to stay with Justin, which I believed from Jump Street, because now we started with 6 picks and now we only have 5. All right. And we know RyanPoles, you're not going to fix all the problems you have with 5 picks. How do you get more? You got to trade, and I don't think he wants to go the free agency route because you always got to overpay people for that. You can get small, lesser, cheaper, or not as talented players in free agent. You can always do that, but is that what you want to do? Or do you want to trade back, get luxury picks? And my thought is do what you can. And everyone's talking about the medium for whatever reason. Caleb. I'm like, no, that's not the haul. Because if you trade back twice in that first round, it means you'll have 3 first-round picks next year. 3. We'll have 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years, including this year. Are you kidding me? How much better do you build a defense? Do you build a team than with first-round picks and are all slotted? So that's why that's the way I was thinking. I think RyanPoles knows that. RyanPoles already showed he loves draft. He loves trading back. He loves getting draft picks because he's hit on a lot of his draft picks, and when they hit well. Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon. Okay. He's done really, really, really well. So this is my opinion, my estimation. She's trading that pick, and people are not happy about it. It's a foregone conclusion. From what I'm hearing on the radio, I'm reading the newspaper, and watching on TV, everyone's saying, "Oh, they're trading Justin. I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with you. And I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see what other holes do you think the Bears should address in the draft. Well, you know what? Free agency. We'll do free agency first because that's coming up first.
I'm glad you asked because recently, some of the latest news, before, like you're saying, a lot of times you got to overpay. And there are certain positions in free agency you typically don't want to pursue, tackle being one. Teams don't let good tackles hit the market. Those
Mm-mm.
guys get locked up. We saw it last year with the Titans and Andre Dillard. That was an absolute disaster. It's very, very rare that you find a good tackle. And plus, right now, the Bears are okay at tackle. Now, you could always make a case they could upgrade over Braxton Jones, but as
Right.
we've
Yeah.
talked about before, he can get the job done right now. So not really a pressing need. Christian Wilkins, man, I mean, dude, this
Wow.
defense needs a three. Yeah, I love Javon Dexter and what he did last year, but 28 years old in his prime, one of the best three techs out there. You need a good dominant three tech in this defense. And then Jonathan Grenard on the opposite of Montez Sweat, 27 years old, can play 4-3, handing in the dirt, outside, defensive end. Dude, you get those two guys, and then Montez Sweat lined up, and then with Andrew at nose. This defensive line is the defensive line that Matt Eberflus needs for this defense to be a top elite unit in the NFL. And with Jalen Johnson, getting extended, they can work his year one cap hit down to where they can make all this stuff work. Obviously, they have the money to do it too. But we talk about Poles and what he does in free agency, kind of what his preferences are. He doesn't like to pay guys over 30 a lot of money. Both of these guys are well under 30. They're at least 2 years away from being 30. And then at that, as we've seen with Montez's Sweat contract, Poles is going to be a guy who does the big base, the pay as you go method, the big base salaries, not as much money up front. That way he can convert that money into signing bonuses or restructures, whatever he wants to do down the road to help make the cap more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, those two guys, you get those two guys in free agency. At first, Danielle Hunter, I like him a lot, but he is 30. He does have injury histories. I do think Poles would make an exception for him. But if I'm putting my mind in Ryan Poles' mind in my body, then yeah, I'm going Jonathan Grenard, Christian Wilkins, shore up that defense, and then let's attack everything else through the draft. So that's what I look at.
What about Chris Jones? Chris Jones is another guy. He's only 28, 29 as well. He's up there as well. Would you, out of the two, Wilkins, would you take Wilkins one as opposed to Jones? And of course, it's not just who we want. They're going to get competition from other as well. The salary's there's going to be a bidding war. But in a perfect world, you take the kid from Miami over Jones?
That is really tough too, because at that point it comes down to price. But they're saying that Christian Wilkins is going to get like Quinnen Williams money, which is 26, 27 million a year.
Oof.
We have Chris Jones projected at 28.5 million per year. I can't remember our Wilkins projection, but I think it was like 21 or 22. But regardless, at that point it comes down to price. Kansas City builds its pass rush is because of Chris Jones. They don't really have, Carl Loftus is a good defensive end. Mike Dana was good. Obviously, I can't remember the other guy they had in there at times. But I don't think you need Chris Jones he would be great, don't get me wrong. But just in terms of the difference in pay, if it's only a $2 million difference, Chris Jones, yes, all day long. But if we're talking $5 or $6 million per year difference, I think you go Christian Wilkins. Because like I said, you've got Montez Sweat on the other side. You don't need to build your entire pass rush around Christian Wilkins like the Chiefs do with Chris Jones, if that makes sense. Hopefully I elaborated on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on dollar amount. But yeah, if it's a couple million difference, Chris Jones all day. But like I said, if it's like 5-6 million difference, then I would go Wilkins.
Guys, we're joined by Evan Winter from A to Z Sports, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. What do you do with safety? You got 4/5 of your secondary back intact, especially after the news yesterday with Jalen Johnson getting tagged. So 4/5 of your secondary is back. Sorry, I just had to do that. Thank you very much.
I think they're gonna draft somebody. I really do. When Matt Eberflus talked at the combine, somebody specifically asked him, what they were looking for in the other safety spot opposite Brisker, and he said somebody who's got to have range. They've got to be able to cover. At first, I thought maybe Kevin Byard when he got released by the Eagles, but his coverage tendencies and his coverage skills have kind of fallen off. He'd be better as a box guy, more so to speak, with some typical dropbacks from time to time. But I do think they're going to draft a safety. Now, again, they don't have a second or third rounder, so whether that comes, and there's no safeties worth taking in the first round. So whether that comes, in the 4th round or they make a move like trading back or trading Fields, which I'm with you. I hope they keep Fields. I don't see how they're going to get him in the draft, especially like a day one guy. But we've seen crazier things happen. So, but yeah, I do think they'll get safety through the draft. I think they'll sign like a cheap veteran in free agency, and then they'll try to get the guy for the future in the draft.
I do too. That's funny you say that. I got a couple guys that I would like. One of my guy Nomad turned me on to Dominic Hampton, kid out of the University of Washington. We already got one guy out of there, and that's Kyler Gordon. I like the way that they develop DBs. And then Tyler Newman, who's a local product. He's out here from St. Charles.
I like Newman. Newman.
Minnesota kid, and they're both big, 6'3", 210, 215 for Dominic Hampton, and 6'2", 210 for Tyler Newman. They both bring it. They both lay the wood, which I really like. Dominic Hampton seems to be more of a playmaker, more explosive, but Tyler Newman still could be a good fit. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. What do you think of Javon? Like, if you go get a 3-tech, if you go get Chris Jones, you go get Wilkins, how does that affect Javon Dexter? Does that affect him positively or negatively? Your thoughts?
Yeah, it is interesting because, like I said, I really like what he did last year. But at the same time, if you can go get a kid or a guy out there in his prime and Christian Wilkins, and you've got the money to do it, I mean, and again, it's about the positional value to this defense. Like you've got to have a good. I mean, Eberflus, when he was first brought on, said the 3-tech and the mic are the engine that makes his defense run. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's literally what he said. So you've got to have a good 3-tech in this defense. I love Javon and what he did. But if and let's be real too, Poles and Eberflus, just if they do end up keeping Fields, it's fair to say they're going into this year fighting for their jobs because they decided to forego passing on Williams. Now, obviously, this is all hypothetical and conditional, but, that would be the second year in a row that they backed Fields. I mean, that to me, that puts their stamp on things officially. So they could possibly be going into the season fighting for their jobs. And so a guy like Wilkins would immediately bring, what you need to the defense, whereas Dexter – yes, it looks like he's getting there, but we're not entirely sure, and we have no clue if he's going to be as near as good as Wilkins. So love what he did, but and again, some things have to fall in a certain line. But love what Dexter did and how it affects him. If it affects him negatively in terms of a mindset, you don't want that mindset on your team. You want guys to own up to the challenge. You want guys to take things head on, and you want them to be about the team and not about themselves. So if it affects him negatively, then it just shows maybe he's not cut out to be on this team or be in this culture that they're trying to build. In terms of affecting him positively, he'd have a veteran who's had elite production that he can lean on, he can learn from, and then maybe Wilkins gets a 2 to 4 year deal. He's gone in 2 years, and then Dexter can take back over. I don't know. But again, this is conditional, my line of thinking. But if certain things play out a certain way, going in and getting an elite guy at a position that means a ton to your team and what you're trying to do, that should be the priority if it's available.
I think he'd be a great help. I think he could really help his development, because when you have someone to emulate, when you have someone who's really good at what they do, and now you're literally in the same room with them, all the meetings, all right, practices, all right, you not only do you watch what they do and go about their business on a daily basis, but now you can pick their brain. Why'd you do this? And him as a teammate is going to be like, he's definitely going to be, hey, try this, try that, don't do this, work on this, study film, watch his tendencies, look at this. Like, you talk about helping each other out, because obviously you're going to want your team to be great. So you're going to have people, when they come in and rotate for you, you're going to make sure that they know exactly what it is they need to do, what they need to watch for, and give them some tips. So I think it'd be a great thing. And Javon Dexter doesn't have to be a Pro Bowler. All right. He just needs to be disruptive. He just needs to be disruptive. And he's coming. If you can shorten the learning curve with him, with an all pro, with a stud like that, man, by all means do it. Because you and I both know the NFL means it's not for long, and who knows how long you're going to be here. So the sooner you can get up to a top level, and the longer you can stay there, the longer you play. So hopefully Javon Dexter, I would love a 3-tech. I would love it. And then draft maybe, I would say draft a defense, an affordable, economical DN, and then also draft one get one in the draft coming up, because now you just veteran, rookie, man. Talk to me a little bit. Go ahead, finish.
I was just gonna say, everybody. Well, people talk about the big reason why they should trade Fields and get Caleb Williams is because Caleb Williams is going to give them the affordable rookie contract for the next few years, and that's totally fine. Understand that, but if you trade back, you get a bunch of more draft picks, and all of those are cheap contracts. So you're getting like 5 more cheap, or 3 or 4 more cheap contracts than you are just one cheap contract. So then you can pay Justin Fields, but you have all these other guys on cheap contracts. So it balances itself out. So that it is right, and it is logical, and it is correct. But there's other ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat at the end of the day.
Definitely. And you know what? They got a bump in the salary cap this year. They thought it was 340, ends up being 355. All right. Then next year it's projected to be 80. You got more than enough room to pick up his 5th-year option.
100%.
And I think it makes sense to do that because of the fact that even if you want to trade him, now teams know, okay, here's what I have to pay. Because if he has a good year or doesn't have a good year, but he still comes out, he can still ask for whatever he wants. At least next year, it's only 22 million, 23 million. If that's cheap for a good starting quarterback. I don't think he's going to have a bad year. I think the staff is that they assembled is going to be phenomenal. I think we'll be having a different conversation, but until that happens, it hasn't happened yet. So I'm looking forward to it. RyanPoles. I'm sorry, Matt Eberflus. Is he on the hot seat yet?
Man, yeah, I would say yes going into the season. Obviously a lot of improvement last year, especially on the defensive side of the ball after they traded for Montez Sweat. You had Jalen Johnson's development. Obviously bringing in TJ Edwards was a home run. Terrell Edmonds was good too. It showed what they can do if they actually have a damn competitive roster. Outside of 2022, what we saw that year, which was just obviously just rough in terms of roster composition. And they tried. Hey, they tried. They worked with what they had. But ultimately there's just such a big difference in terms of talent from 2022 to 2023. So there is the case to be said, okay, well, and Eberflus talked about this at the combine, how it's cool that they're pretty much going to rinse and repeat this year what they did last year in terms of adding talent, which is true. So there's a lot of headway in terms of, hey, he should get a little bit more time because he's going to have a better roster this year. Well, my thinking is, but you can only say that so many years in a row. Okay, let's give him more talent. He should do better because he did a little bit better with talent this year. They have to take a leap. Now, obviously, what they do at quarterback is going to play into everything, but you have to see an overall leap. Got to stop with the penalties and the sloppy play from time to time. That stuff's got to get cleaned up. You've got to see an offense that is showing progression and not constantly taking 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward. You've got to show, on terms of just from himself, better game management. He's got to have better moments in the clutch calls and game planning, especially in the 4-minute periods and stuff like that. So we have to see, I'm talking not just modest improvement. We have to see very, very noticeable improvement in all of these deficiencies that we've seen that are not related to the roster over the last couple of years. If we don't see that and the Bears don't make the playoffs, I think you got to let him go, man, at the end of the day. Even though he's kind of grown on me, I'll admit, whenever he first started, I wasn't too impressed with how he handled press conferences and the media and stuff, but he's grown on me over the last couple of years, and I like him as a person. I think he's a pretty decent head coach so far. But yeah, I think he's on the hot seat, and if we don't see, like I said, good improvement in his deficiencies, then and the Bears don't have a good season, then yeah, I could definitely see him gone after this year.
But how do you see the Bears season? Because the last time we talked about Shane Waldron. All right. And this dude is a guy who develops quarterbacks. All right. He's, and obviously what he said was, about Geno, like Geno was all in. So I find it difficult to believe that Justin, if he stays, would be any different. I mean, Justin he's been all in this entire time. And that's with, a torn down defense, an ascending team, a porous offensive line, injuries, personal issues. This guy's been 10 toes down this whole time. I find it difficult to believe that when he stays and with Waldron, that he's not going to develop similar or probably even more so than Geno. I find it difficult to believe with the way that we've seen Justin handle his business.
Yeah, I think I'm very optimistic about the Bears season. Yeah, with all that being said about the prospects of the Eberflus, I don't think that that's how this season is going to go. Even if they do draft Caleb Williams, like you're saying, with Waldron, I believe he's going to put the running game first. He's going to create favorable mismatches and stuff for Williams or whoever's playing quarterback. He's going to put them in a good spot in a really good way. To look at it, just from my personal view, is what Dave Canales did with Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay last year. I mean, going into and Dave Canales is from Shane Waldron's coaching tree. He runs a lot of the same similar concepts of Shane Waldron and all that other stuff. So, one of the things going into last offseason, there was this quote from one of the Bucs players that Mike Evans said one day during practice, "I've never been this wide open in my entire career." And that's how Canales' schemes work and stuff. Yeah, and sure enough, Evans leads the NFL in touchdown receptions last year, has one of the best years of his career at age 30. So that's what this offense is going to be doing. It's we're not going to see screen, deep pass, and then run up the gut or, I know, right? But it's going to be, play action. It's going to be, it's my favorite concept that's currently, getting bigger and bigger in the NFL, and it's running different plays out of the same looks. So you're going to see a lot of the same lineups, but they're going to be different plays. So defenses are going to they're not going to really be able to rely on their keys and their reads very much right off the snap. So he's going to use a lot of motion to help his quarterbacks pre-snap. So, yeah, I don't see – and that's one thing, too, with Eberflus and his job is, if the Waldron hire works out, then, yeah, he's going to be in really good shape. Because he kind of rectified himself from Luke Getsy. Overall, yeah, I have a lot of optimism for the Bears season, especially with the fact that they've got Montez Sweat now coming into a full season. They've got Jalen Johnson no matter what now. So, yeah, now it's just about adding those other pieces. And, I mean, not the sky's the limit, but things are definitely looking up for sure.
What about our running back position? Are we okay there, or – do we need another one? Do we need a heavy hitter? Because now there's rumors about Saquon Barkley, and man, the thought of him and Justin Fields in the same backfield together gets me excited.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to especially with what they did with Deontay Foreman last year. I mean, granted, he's not a home run guy, big playmaker like Saquon, but he's a steady back that'll get you the tough yards and stuff like that. I do think they need to have some kind of, they need to look outward at running back. Right now, obviously Khalil Herbert has been good when he's healthy. Roshan showed some potential, but he got hurt last year. And then Travis Homer's more just a special teams guy, even though RyanPoles just loves him for whatever reason. But yeah, they definitely need to upgrade at running back. And, there was stuff about the Bears were getting tied to Saquon last year. So it will not surprise me whatsoever if we see Saquon in the backfield. And that's going to be huge, too, because not only, Khalil's a good pass catcher, but Saquon's an elite pass catcher at the position. And that'll just take off pressure from, Fields, whomever is the back there quarterback. It'll take even more pressure off him, which would be huge.
So Khalil Herbert's in the final year of his deal. He's making $1.05 million this year. He'll be an unrestricted free agent next year. I definitely think we need to get a running back. I don't know if we're going to – I highly doubt that we're going to get a high-priced running back, but just the thought of it. Just the thought of Saquon Barkley. Because here's the thing. You trade down. You trade down from number one. You still have a chance to get Marvin Harrison Jr. So now you're looking at Justin Fields, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Saquon Barkley in the backfield. And who knows? I didn't even ask you, because my next question is going to be, what do you do at 9? Because what if you want to go Brock Bowers at 9? And then you add him to the mix?
I was hoping we could talk about that today, because that's actually something I recently just started thinking about. Brock Bowers would be a great pick for the Bears, because you've already got – so the big question with him is his size, right? I mean, dude's like, 230 or something, which, to play at tight end in the NFL, you got to be 6'5", 250 at minimum. I mean, even Travis Kelce is 6'6", 256. I mean, he doesn't look that big, but he's a big boy. So you've got to be big to play tight end. Brock Bowers is not that. Granted, he can always put on weight. He can always add muscle. But you've already got Cole Kmet as a traditional inline tight end for the Bears who can run block and obviously catch. That would allow Brock to be the mismatch guy that he is. The Bears would not be trying to force him to play in line, to run block, which he, on his tape, he has good run blocking skills, but obviously the NFL is a different animal. But yeah, I would be fully on board with that. And when you add in the fact that Shane Waldron, if you go back and watch his time in Seattle is very, very infamous for using multiple tight ends.
13 personnel, yeah.
All the time. So that would only fuel what Waldron likes to do on offense even more. I'm for it all day long, dude. I am for Brock Bowers at 9 all day long. And if they trade back and get him too, I am for that all day long.
Is there another tight end that you could say, okay, if I don't get Brock Bowers, I'm not as happy, but I'm still happy that we got this guy because we can do some of the things with this guy like we could with Brock Bowers? Is there another guy that you?
Not off the top of my head, no. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked into the top tight ends too much just
Okay.
yet. Yeah, but nobody. The kid out of Kansas State. I can't remember his name right. Ben Sinnott.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the first guy that comes to my mind. I wouldn't mind him.
There's also a tight end at Colorado State too that was pretty good. I remember when they played prime time. He's he's another good tight end, a bigger guy. He's 6'4", 6'5", something like that. I like bigger, taller tight ends. And I mean 6'4" is fine, but 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", But yeah, I can't think of the name of the kid. Guys, if you in the chat, if you remember the name of the tight end from Colorado State, do me a favor, just type it in the chat. Okay. But see, the thing is, I would love it. You trade down, man, just 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, or, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at this because it's falling this way because there's going to be a run on quarterbacks, maybe 4 in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4. All right. Obviously, Williams, May, Daniels, and maybe J.J. McCarthy sneaks in there. Okay. You still got to get the offensive line like Alt, Olu. All right. That's 6 right there. Okay. Marvin Harrison Jr., there's 7. What if and God forbid you bring someone who maybe a middle to late round, first round pick, if someone takes in there and pushes everybody down, you still got a Dunze, you still got Thomas, you got Malik Neighbors. All right. Where are you going to take a tight end? Where?
Yeah.
You might be able to trade back that 9 pick, and that's going to be my next question. Would you do that if the pick before you doesn't get 9 and you can trade back to 12? Would you get another pick? Would you and hope he's still there and does those 9, 10, 11?
Yeah, for sure. And hold on, I'm pulling up the draft order just to make sure I'm thinking on this correctly. But yeah, you look at the teams that are back there. The Jets, the Jets are going to take a tackle. Like they are locked in to take a tackle. Minnesota, they've got oh my God, the kid out of Northwestern. No, not him. Rashawn Slater. They've got him. No, wait, that's the Chargers. Either way, they've got, I can't think of his name, but Vikings have a left tackle. They're not going to be looking, or tight end. They're not going to be looking to get a tight end with TJ Hawkinson. And then Denver's going to be looking for a quarterback or
QB.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, dude, you could easily trade back to 12 and still get Brock Bowers 100%.
Who's at 12?
It's Denver.
Oh, Denver. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't make sense. It would make sense for Denver to trade up to 9. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I'd love that. I said 12 or 13 if you have to. If someone gave you an extra pick, I go to 15, but I wouldn't like 12 or 13 as far as back. I'd want to trade that number 9 pick because there's still going to be good players. And as I said, if somebody comes up and takes a middle to late round first pick up there and pushes everybody down, I'm definitely trading back. I definitely would trade back and get an extra pick. It just makes a lot of sense, because you're going to get value. So adding those offensive weapons, man, to the Bears is huge. You already started with a center who's serviceable. Here's the thing: can he snap the ball? First and foremost, can you snap the ball without Justin having to, play baseball, and pick it up with a glove,
Right.
or jump over his head? I mean, come on now. So if you can do that, that's huge. And of course,
Yeah,
it'd be facetious, but
No, I mean it's true though, and I mean, and going back to what you were originally saying about center, there are 3 really good centers in this
Yes,
draft,
there are.
and yeah, and again, trading back will allow you to get back into round 2. No matter which pick you trade, you're at least going to get 1 second-round pick in that trade.
Yep.
And if they do decide to trade Justin, you're going to get probably a second round for him. Either way, you have a great chance of getting back in that second round, and yeah, that's where you draft that center. And I'm trying to look up here we go. Okay. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm looking it up right now. But, another key thing with that is, again, whoever's quarterback, they're going to have a chance to grow with a relationship that a lot of people underrate is the quarterback center relationship. That is such a key relationship at the end of the day when it's all said and done. And Justin Fields, hold on, let me see. Yeah. So it was, in 2022, it was Sam Mustipher starting at center, if I remember correctly. So Justin has never even had you talk about, him having to play baseball. He's never really had a chance. And then this year it was Cody Whitehair at center. He's never had a chance to develop that relationship with a center. He's never had a consistent relationship. So whoever you bring in, if you can bring in a young center to grow with them, that's absolutely huge. And that would be awesome for this offense, especially in year 1. So drafting a center is definitely something they need to try to find a way to get back into round 2 and draft a center for sure, 100%.
Who do you want, JPJ? Do you want
I love JPJ
or Van Pran?
So I love JPJ, man. He reminds me of Ryan Jensen, obviously, and obviously I've seen Ryan Jensen up close for several seasons now. He's that athletic, compact bulldog, that will just maul a dude, forklift them up in the air. He can play gap, he can play zone. Very good in pass pro, very good at calling out responsibilities along the line. And I like Graham Barton. I think Graham Barton would be a good. Granted, he played. Yeah, Duke. Yeah, the kid out of Duke. Yeah, he played tackle at Duke, but he's got elite athleticism. His arms are just really short. Which obviously means he'd be better off inside. But yeah, there's quite a few of the draft experts out there that are projecting him as center. So I'm on board with that. Obviously I'm not a draft expert, so I'm going to lean on what they say to an extent. And watching his tape though, and applying what you see on tape at the center position, I definitely think it could work. So that's my number 2 guy.
Okay. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they get it, because I think that's. And you touched on the point, the relationship. People don't understand how important that is in football. If you've never played it, or it's how vital that relationship is between a quarterback and center. Shoot, ask Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday. You know what I mean? Yeah. Was it Terry Bradshaw? Was like, what I wouldn't do for one more time is stick my hands right under Mike Webster's ass.
Oh man, that's a classic Bradshaw quote. I can totally see him saying that.
Hey Evan, great stuff, man. As always, man. I love having you on talking Bears with me. But before you go, do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you online.
Yeah, man, always happy to be on A2ZSports.com. That's where you can find us. We've got all 32 all fleshed out teams ready to go, and we're obviously going to be right at the forefront of all the free agency madness that, God, starts on Monday. It's insane to think that it's 5 days away. But yeah, A2ZSports.com, and you can find me on Twitter, Evan ATOZ, or Evan_ATOZ.
Excellent, buddy. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Take care, man.
Thank you. Guys, that's Evan Winter from A to Z Sports talking Bears with me. A lot to be excited about. Let's take a quick break and then wrap this bad boy up with a pretty little bow. All right. We'll be back shortly, right after this. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field with time. Delivers down the field. And Tom Murray. Big one-way to Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Here's the problem in Chicago. Number one, they cleaned house on the offensive side of the ball. So that means that they scrubbed everybody on the offensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Now you're bringing in new coordinators and new everybody's because you didn't develop the quarterback. So now you go and you draft Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and anybody else. And they don't have a successful rookie campaign. Are you keeping Eberflus as your head coach? Probably not.
No.
Because he's already on the hot seat.
Yep.
Which means that you now put a new offensive staff together. So if I'm coming in as a new head coach, I'm going to fire that entire offensive staff that you just hired, along with the defense. I'm bringing my own people in. And now the second-year quarterback that you drafted has to start all over again. So guess what his position is? He's in the position that Justin Fields was once in with Matt Nagy.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. That was Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson talking about it, and it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. There's a lot going on right now with, you know, we're looking at, and we're waiting. You know, we're waiting. So I don't. And I saw a tweet earlier. That, if true, all right, would mean we'd have to concede, but we'll see. We'll see how if it plays out. Greg Gabriel tweeted this out earlier. Was it? Let me see. When was this? 36. That was today. Earlier, a little while ago. He said, it looks like what I would like to happen and what will happen are two different things. I do not agree with taking Caleb Williams for various reasons. And if I was doing my former job, the Bears wouldn't take him. It's not about the talent. I know the talent. It's the rest of the BS. So, I don't know. Greg, remember he was upset when, who was the last guy who just got fired? One of the front office guy got fired, and we thought that might have been his informant. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We will see how it plays out. Not very good for the people who like Justin, people who want Justin. It's not very good. So we'll see. We will see. That one stinks. That one stinks. That hurts. Make sure you tune in today, okay? At 1 o'clock, I'll be joining Nomad, the SuperBack and Nomad. We have our daily Bears football show. It'll be here on my page. It'll be on Sports Zone Chicago's Roku page. Check it out. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Is this still a smokescreen? Is it? I don't know. But according to Greg Gabriel, he's got Cliff Stein. Thank you, Brian. Cliff Stein was fired. According to Greg Gabriel, it looks like they've made the decision to draft Caleb. We'll see. And again, it's not 100%, but it's not 100%. And here's the hoping that he's wrong. The information he got was false or bad info, but we'll see. We'll see. And if that's the case, I'm gonna definitely have to eat a lot of crow from a lot of people. It just is what it is. I don't think it would be the best move, but hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm still a Bear fan, so we'll see. I still, until it's done, it's not done. So it's not done yet. So we'll see. But again, according to Greg Gabriel, what's going on there? That's the question. What has he heard? He still knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of people in the league. A lot of people. I'm sure he still got a lot of those in Chicago and in the building over there. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah. Where goes one? I still feel good about Fields being on the beach. I mean the Bears. Yeah, in 24. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know because Gabriel was very adamant about keeping Fields and this. Like you said, well, he doesn't want it to happen. He said it just looks like it's going to happen from what he's hearing. So, okay. Now I got to listen to a whole bunch of. Well, we don't even go there. Because when it happens, if and when it happens, we'll deal with it at that particular point. Anyway, my Bulls tonight travel. Are they hosting or traveling? Yeah, they're traveling to Salt Lake City to take on the Jazz. And you know what? Unfortunately, from what I was reading this morning or hearing this morning, they will not face Lauri Markkanen. Apparently, he's out. I would love to have seen what he would have done against the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen's an all-star. He was on this team, and he was developing every year. He got hurt. I would love to see him on this team. All right. Kobe White. We come back to we go back to where we he just came off his career high 37 points against the Kings the other day. And the thing I like about Kobe White is this. He's extremely, extremely humble. All right. Very rare in today's NBA. Extremely, extremely humble. And it's a testament to him and how he was raised. He just seems like a great teammate. He seems like he likes to spread the wealth, spread the fame, spread the attention. And I think that's pretty dope. I think that's pretty dope. My question for him is how much better can his game get? How much better can Kobe White's game get? And who are the better factors of his game? Because there's got to be a point where other people get to eat because Kobe White drawing a lot of attention. There's got to be somebody who steps up. Cut into the hole, pick and rolls. I mean, you pick and roll with Kobe. What do? You sink? You try and go underneath the screen where Kobe can dot your eye from wherever. You try and fight through the screen. Who's rolling to the basket? There's a lot that can happen because of the respect that Kobe gets now. That's probably the best word. But who's going to step up? Patrick Williams, he's out for the rest of the season. Like, imagine Kobe and Pat in a pick and roll. He could pick it. It could be pick and pop. He can roll to the hole. There's a lot of things he can do. What about DeMar? Excuse me. It looks like they want to re-sign DeMar. Why, I don't know, but all right. Zach will be back soon. Not this year. Soon, meaning start of the season. Soon. I don't know. This Bulls team fighting for their playoff lives. Every game is like a playoff game. See where they're at. Yep. 3 games under 500. They're in the 9th spot right now. Yeah, it's tough. They're 2 games behind Atlanta. I'm sorry. In front of Atlanta. And they are 6 wins behind Indiana, who's ahead of them. Can they move up? It's going to be tough with not a lot of games left. So they're going to be in the 9th spot. They're going to be in the play-in again. And you know what? Mission accomplished. They'll make it to the play. Then they can say we're a playoff team. 2 years in a row. Did we make it this year? Yeah, we did. So this is the frustrating part about sports. When you get an owner like Reinsdorf who doesn't care, he just wants butts in seats. The development of these players seems to, except for Kobe White and Ayo. So how much is the team developing them, and how much are they doing by themselves? Because the team has to have some help, some hand in it. But we're going to run it back again. You re-signed DeMar, guess what? You got your same big 3. Maybe 4 now with Kobe. And we all know the definition of insanity. We all know that definition. So, are you happy with this? Are you happy with them running it back for another year? Maybe they get better, and Lonzo Ball may come back next year. That's a big may. It's a big if. If he comes back, man, we're in the playoffs. So are you upset as a Bulls fan? Or are you saying, hey, if Lonzo comes back, man, we had the best record in the East until he got hurt. We can get back there again. What's your stance? Where are you at? Who are you with? I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. Well, listen, guys, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Evan Winter from A to Z Sports, coming out talking Bears with me. And listen, I'll have a lot more Bears talk in 2 hours. I'll be back right here on Sports Zone Chicago. Actually, Shawn Sierra's page. So my Facebook page, go do that. We're going to be on Sports Zone Chicago's Roku channel. You can check us out there. And we should be getting it into Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel very shortly. All right. So you can catch me on there. Me, Nomad, Keith, Chris in the back behind the scenes, Brian behind the scenes, maybe Keds, the Canuck, who knows? But all Bears all the time. All right. Yeah. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. I still don't feel there's something telling me, like, man, Washington wants this kid. My only question is Poles asking, is he not settling? Does he have his price, and is he not moving off of it? Because that could be an issue. Because the thing is, you want to get as many, man, if we can get 3 starters out of this, 4 starters out of this, 4 assets, I'm cool with it. I said, I'll take 3, but we can get 4. Swap next year's first and this year's second. Is that price? Is that what he's asking? Our team's thinking that's too much. I don't know. But listen, everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, my co-host Adam Sencha, Maya Kai. I want to wish you well and thank you for tuning in, joining in. Make sure you holler at your boys, your people, let them know. Tune in to Sports Zone Chicago. Check us out. Follow us on YouTube, our mobile app, our Roku channel. Download it. Take us with you on the go. All right. Subscribe to YouTube. As I said, we have some really cool things coming up. We have some really cool things coming up, and we need your help. All right, we're trying to get off the ground. We need your help. All right. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, have a phenomenal day. We'll see you in about 2 hours. Like I always say, make sure you send someone that you know, that you care about. Send them a text. All right. Send them a text. Let them know you care about them. You're thinking about them. And it could literally make their day because you don't know what people are going through. All right. Guys, I'll see you in a couple hours. My sports owners, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll see you. Many of you, if you can make it, head over to, come back here. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Roku, same thing. See you in a couple hours. Your boy, SuperBack, I am out.